How is everybody doing? My name is Echo, and welcome to a brand new beta and preview cycle. 1.21.40 is complete and expected to release on the 22nd of October. Welcome to the version 1.21.50.20. Introducing the Creaking, the Pale Garden, and a brand new wood set. We are getting straight into the winter drop. This is expected to be fully released before 2024 is complete. As we mentioned, they have added the Pale Garden biome, the Pale Oak Tree, Pale Moss Block, Pale Moss Carpet, Pale Hanging Moss, and Pale Hanging Oak Wood set. Added the Creaking Mob, Creaking Spawn Egg, and the Creaking Heart block. Let's start with the Pale Garden. The Pale Garden is a biome variation of a dark oak forest. Now let's get into its unique features. So the developers have now confirmed that it is a variation of a dark oak forest after me and everybody on the internet saying they look very similar. Now it does say pale oaks generates here. Pale moss blocks carpets generate on the ground here. Hanging pale moss generates hanging from the foliage of the pale oaks. Animals such as mobs, your regular ones like chickens, cows, etc., don't actually naturally spawn in there. New biome-specific ambient sounds. The Creaking Heart block can generate in the pale oaks. So one thing you are going to notice inside of this biome is it's very dull. It's a lot grayer compared to being in the likes of a dark oak forest. Now, I don't think the transition is there just yet on Minecraft Bedrock edition, but as you can see, it's literally a dark oak forest. It's a carbon copy. Rather than this generating as a full dark oak forest, part of it is the pale biome. We are going to go over this in a lot more detail, but this is going to be the brand new wood that has been introduced. It's a pale/white block. It's really cool, to be honest with you. We do have these new moss blocks that are available, along with the carpets that can actually go up the trees. This looked really good during Minecraft Live. If you do have shears, you are able to silk touch these. Without shears, they're just gonna break off. These are your pale hanging moss. During nighttime, a brand new mob is going to spawn. This is your Creaking. If you look away from this, it is going to attack you. Now, if you attack this, it physically cannot die at all. In order to kill this, we have to kill its heart, which is located inside of the tree. So it physically doesn't matter how many times you try and kill this. It is just not possible. So let's go over all of the wood, block, and item types this one tree can produce. So starting off with the pale oak log itself. Just like any type of tree, using an axe on it, it's going to produce the stripped variation, which is this. Now, it does say like a pale/white wood, but I will say this and the top, well, maybe not so much the top, but this definitely looks more on the grayish scale. Getting 4 of these, you're able to make yourself the pale oak wood. Then you can also get the stripped version of this. You then get the plank. The plank is obviously created from this. I don't need to teach you guys the basics. Obviously, with a plank, you can create stairs. You can create slabs. We also have fences and fence gates, and I am putting it out there right now. This is by far the best door type we have in Minecraft now. Honestly, they look so cool. There is also going to be a trapdoor version. After that, there is going to be different kinds of leaves that you are able to make. And of course, we do have saplings. The saplings can be placed inside of flower pots. Now, just like a dark oak tree, you can not bone meal one of these on their own. I mean, you can try, but nothing's going to happen. You can and have to use 4 saplings. In doing so, you're going to end up with the pale oak tree. As I showed you before, we have the pale moss block. If you bone meal this, it's going to spread and produce the carpets, which if you place this down, can actually go up the sides of blocks. So if we place this here, you guys are going to see how awesome this is going to look. Look how cool this is. Now, you can do this in any kind of house, which we did mess around with the other day. I thought this was really cool. I get serious Stranger Things like Halloween vibes from this. The only problem is right now it's showing as a full block, and I really wish it could go a lot higher. Also producing pressure plates and a button. We do have the signs, the regular one, but also the hanging variation. And again, I really like how bright these are. Now, as I did show you before, you are able to silk touch these, but you can also go ahead and bone meal them to get a bunch more. Now we move on to the Creaking Heart. A Creaking Heart is a living block generating in the pale oak trees, covered on all sides by pale oak wood logs. It can spawn a creaking mob when it is nighttime and is placed between two correctly aligned pale oak log blocks. It is active during night and dormant during the day. Sends a trail of particles, which I did show you, towards the connected creaking when the creaking gets hit by the player. So that's how you find the specific hearts. Now, there can be like loads of them spawning at once. I've had like 5 of them. It does say when Creaking Heart block is destroyed, the connected creaking is removed, which I am going to show you. But this is going to be the heart block. Now, as of right now, as you guys can see here, it's not glowing. It doesn't just have to be nighttime, because if I put this inside of here, you can see this tree is somewhat alive. Now, if I was to do /time set midnight, this is going to spawn a creaking. You are able to disconnect this, as you can see here. Now, you'll see a difference during the daytime. So if we do /time set and we did noon here, obviously it despawns. It doesn't die. Like, it physically doesn't die unless you destroy this. But as you can see here, you're able to disconnect its heartbeats in a way. Now, this does not apply to any other type of tree. Even if you tried to use the dark oak, or even if you tried to use regular oak or anything at all, this does not cause it to live. Now, on Bedrock Edition, they are a little bit clunky. I do actually catch them moving a little bit more frequently. But let me show you guys as a demonstration. So we've now figured out that it lives inside of here. If we go ahead and break this, what we're going to try and do is expose it. Now, the problem is not so much the creaking itself, but the other mobs around it, or having multiple around here. Now, one thing I do want to say here, if you have a pumpkin on your head, it is still going to follow you. It's kind of like the opposite effect from a Enderman. So if we have this on, it can see me. Take this off, it's just going to stand still. These mobs are killing me. Oh, there's another one. They're everywhere. Anyway, we did find its hearts, and if you do struggle to figure out where it is, you can see here, it's right there. Physically does not die. Not even a warden can kill this thing. If we break its heart, that is completely gone forever. These are non-renewable. Even if you used the saplings to try and regrow a tree, it doesn't produce a heart. But there is a lot to learn about the creaking. I put it all inside of this book. Starting off with, an activated creaking will not move if a player is looking at it, as we demonstrated. The creaking is invulnerable to damage, being lava, drowning, fire, explosions, wardens, etc. It will not die. It is not affected by light level, but spawns and despawns based on day/night cycle. Creaking cannot enter boats, so you can't trap it. However, you can with fences, by the way. When the Creaking Heart block is... the creaking is connected to is destroyed, the creaking is removed. Creaking spawned from a Creaking Heart cannot go through portals. It won't follow you into the nether or into the end. The creaking spawn egg will spawn a creaking mob that is not connected to a Creaking Heart. The creaking mob will persist through day and night, loads and saves, and will take damage from attacks and other sources. So yeah, this one will kind of take damage. I believe it only has half a heart. Yeah, there you go. Half a heart. Creaking summoned from the Creaking Heart cannot be spawned with a spawn egg, nor can it be summoned with commands. It can only exist as part of the Creaking Heart block. Player wearing a carved pumpkin, as we did demonstrate, will unfreeze the creaking. So if I was to get myself a spawn egg /give at P, and we did a creaking spawn egg, and we spawn this, it's there. Only has half a heart, so it's going to die instantly. Meanwhile, the one I showed you before won't die at all. Now, I have tried to show you this. I have experienced this on Java. New system for Pale Gardens ambient sounds. It doesn't seem like it's working correctly. Ambient sounds in the Pale Garden biome do not come from the biome settings, but are generated by blocks found in the biome. Pale hanging moss emits subtle atmospheric sounds when it is attached to the pale oak logs and pale oak leaves. Creaking Heart block emits a set of eerie sounds when it is active during the night and surrounded by logs on all sides. So you will hear this, but not as frequently and as scary as it is on Minecraft Java Edition. But again, expect that to change in the coming betas and previews. I spawned it via the spawn egg, and you can see how kind of clumsy and clunky this thing is. If I was to go to /game mode S to kind of look away from it, yeah, it will actually attack me during the day if it's spawned by a spawn egg. Let's get into the features and bug fixes, starting with the user interface. They fixed a bug where duplicate gamepad input hints would be shown in certain scenarios on the dev screen when using multiple input methods. Migrated JSON UI trial mode model that was shown in the Create New World and Edit World to All UI. Add-ons. Joining worlds created from world templates on realms and dedicated servers no longer prompt the user to download packs from templates they have locally, I believe, imported. Forgot to put it on. Audio. Sponges and wet sponges now play fall hit, jump land, break hit, jump land, break hit, and place sounds. That was like a mouthful to say. Did I do that wrong? Maybe I did. Maybe I'm absolutely losing my mind here. Anyway, so this is your regular sponge. Now it makes sense. It also has like fall and step sounds. Meanwhile, this is your wet sponge. Yeah, I haven't muted the audio. It's just completely silent. So a couple of the audio bugs that are meant to be fixed haven't actually been fixed. It also says sponge now plays a sound when absorbing water, and it actually does. So the wet sponge, unless I'm reading this wrong, is slightly broken. Quite a few changes here with blocks and items. It says swords can now cut saplings instantly as they do with bamboo. So as you guys know, if you grab yourself a sword and you whack this, it breaks instantly. This is now going to be the exact same with these, which are classed as the saplings. It also says axe no longer mines bamboo saplings and moss carpets faster. So let's go ahead and grab this. Go ahead and place down this. As you can see here, it takes quite some time. That's also going to be the same for moss carpets. Meanwhile, maces no longer mine cobwebs faster than other non-sword tools. So as you guys know, sword you can do it fast. Apparently, the mace could also do it really, really fast. That has now been fixed. The heavy core is now faster to mine with any improper tool. A note block placed above heavy core now plays the proper sound. So let's go ahead and break this and place this on top. As you can see here, that's meant to be the correct sound. However, I did notice if you put this here and break this and put this on top, no sound actually comes out. Another one is the crafter can now be mined quickly with any pickaxe. It can be diamond, it can be iron. Obviously, it's made of like stone variations. So it makes sense to be able to mine this quickly rather than using your hand. And if you somehow manage to mine a dragon egg, which is almost impossible, it no longer requires a pickaxe to drop and is equally quick to mine with any tool. Copper trap doors and copper bulbs now require a stone pickaxe or better for drops and quick mining. Swords no longer mine all blocks faster than bare hands, instead doing that only for some plant type blocks that aren't already insta-mineable, such as leaves, pumpkins, big drip leaf, chorus flowers, chorus plant, coca, the glow lichen, melon blocks, moss carpets, and vines. Last but not least, stone buttons and polished blackstone buttons no longer require a pickaxe to drop and are now faster to mine with any improper tool. So, oops, we're in the wrong game mode here. Anyway, we're going to try it with the regular stone one. You can actually pick these up now And they're not gonna break. So yeah, this is a good change. We did get some command changes. Let's read the change log. So if you're interested in the command changes, I'll leave a link down below. I just didn't think this all need to be placed on some signs. Moving on to the gameplay changes, there is now a warning message when you are prevented from entering an unloaded chunk. Now the respiration enchantment reduces the chance of taking drowning damage. This is a parity. It's a good change. We have a bug report. This was reported back in 2019. Has been a problem in all of these versions. Basically, it's explaining how fast you take damage after the respiration bubbles have disappeared. It should still be slower like it has been on Minecraft Java. So this is going to take a minute, because when we go inside the bubbles, we have respiration 3 on this. You guys are going to see the bubbles are going to take quite some time to pop. So I'll be right back. So keep an eye on my bubbles. These obviously pop a lot slower when you have respiration, especially if it's respiration 3. Now, on Bedrock Edition, prior to this, when this final one popped, you would start to instantly take damage. Obviously, it should give you damage when you've got no bubbles left, but it shouldn't be instant. You can see here, I'm not taking rapid damage. So this is a good change. Players can no longer earn achievements or trophies after dying and respawning as a spectator in hardcore mode. Mace damage now scales with distance fallen when it is used by mobs. Players will keep their inventory after dying on easy and peaceful, as we're testing ways to adapt our difficulty levels. Now, they are looking for feedback on this on the official changelog. To me, this kind of makes sense, so they're tweaking that anyway. General, the world spawn point algorithm has been improved so that locations with good biomes but far from the world's origin are preferred over really bad locations but closer to the origin. We have a bug report. Now, I'm kind of sad that they're tweaking this because it would give players really crazy seeds and challenges. These seeds right here would spawn players underwater. I've done shorts videos on them, and it's really fun as a challenge. Apparently, that stuff is not gonna happen anymore. After all these years, with the Wither, the spawn and death animations smoothly transition between a white color overlay and its normal textures. We have a bug report. This is a long time bug going back to March 2020. I believe it's been a lot longer than that. Now, somebody did leave another actual bug report, and if you watch this video, this is this user fixing it with a specific command that they have created. It took the developers super long to actually implement this, so obviously it doesn't just stay white. And another issue they've had on Bedrock Edition is that the Wither could still move even though it hadn't fully spawned. So that brings me on to the next changes. The Wither no longer moves during its spawning animation. The Wither's head now looks at their target more consistently. It's taken them years to do this. How backdated are the bug reports? So watch when we summon this now. You'll see here, it's not going to be just white instantly. But as it starts to get to full capacity, it's a smoother transition, and it's not bouncing all over the place. So finally, the Wither has been slightly improved. Realms, stability and performance, and user interface. Let's read the changelog. Once again, guys, I didn't think all of this stuff needed to be on signs. It'd be wasting my time and also your time. And fun fact, I'm about to go on holiday, so I had to quickly get today's video done. So I do apologize if it does feel rushed. This is my first holiday in 7 years. But if you are interested in these changes, I'll leave the link down below. Moving on to the vanilla parity, foxes can now pick up bundles. So let's see if we were to go ahead and throw this on the floor and summon a fox. Let's do / summon a fox. Come on, pick up some of these bundles, please. Please. One of you guys have to be interested in it. This is just my luck, but yeah, believe me, it is possible. I tested it earlier on. Hey, he finally come back and collected one. Let's see if we can get another one to collect these. Maybe it's just like the regular one. These are the multicolored versions. They don't seem too interested in them. Chiseled stone brick can now be crafted in the stone cutter using stone bricks. So finally, this is a parity that can be done. You can craft these now. Finally, after all these years. But also added 2 more recipes, each for the sandstone stairs and red sandstone stairs. Chiseled sandstone and cut sandstone can now be used to craft sandstone stairs, and it's the same for the red variation as well. So these can now produce these. Same with this as well. Same with this as well. It can also produce slabs. It can also produce all of these. So again, just parity changes. And the last one is to do with the purple blocks. And this is the purple slabs can now be crafted using the pillars. So 3 of these can now produce the slab variations. Let's get into everybody's favorites. That is the technical updates. Let's read the change log. Since this is a brand new cycle, we have a lot of changes. Add-ons and scripts, blocks, editors, APIs, and so much more. If you like this side of Minecraft, the link is down below. Anyway, guys, I must go. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm about to go on holiday. Don't worry, I have some incredible videos to keep you entertained. Let me know your thoughts on the brand new mob biome and the brand new woods. I'll see you all in 7 days.